The meeting of the Spencer Board of Aldermen, the pre-agenda meeting, will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'll offer the invocation. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Please bow your head for our invocation. Dear Father, bless this gathering tonight as we greet the beautiful fall month of October, surely a reminder of the world's beauty you have bestowed upon us. Keep us mindful of our vision for Spencer as we seek to better it for all of our citizens. Lead us in our discussions and guide our decisions. We ask your blessings. Amen. Amen. Okay, we're getting ready to review the agenda for our Tuesday meeting, October the 10th at 6 o'clock. So is there anything that you feel should be moved to the consent agenda? We can go through it if you want to and do it as that way.
There may be a few things.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see, addition, deletions, okay. Does anyone have any recognitions they want to add? We have one. Okay, if you think of someone before Tuesday, I guess they need to let you know. Let Anna know, and we'll add it. Okay. Does anyone
Madam
see?
Chair, we can put the approval of minutes on consent. Well, I guess they're already on consent, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. So the minutes would be on the consent. Okay. Okay. The insurance, number 7, the insurance renewal rates, that will be a presentation. The mural design, I'm assuming that will be presentation also.
Correct.
And I know number 9 will be a presentation, and that's a lot of work that's been gone into that.
Well, this is a procedural. It's somewhat of a procedural item. I don't know. I think Kyle's actually currently meeting with somebody. And I can take a minute to update you on this, and you can decide. But this is simply to set up a grant project ordinance for the funds for this program
that we're getting ready
to flow through. So there's not going to be a whole lot of detail about the grant awards for the rehab projects, etc. This is kind of setting up now the mechanism for the federal dollars that are going to NC Commerce that are then coming to us, that will then get awarded, through the individual grants for that to flow through a project fund. So this may be a consent agenda item. One thing we can likely do on Tuesday, even if this is on consent agenda, is just give a little bit of a status update, and basically that all of the applications that have come in, there's I think somewhere in the order of 16, 17 applications that have been vetted and are in the review process. And Kyle is currently actually having meetings with the applicants to verify, all the ducks are in the row. And then in the next couple weeks, the Housing Selection Committee, which Mr. Morgan's part of, is slated to meet and then go through the scored application. So I think y'all have had some communication from Kyle about that process coming up. So it is moving towards that stage where the selection committee will be the entity that awards the funds, based on the process that was established through the grant application, etc.
Okay. What say y'all? You want that on consent agenda with a status report?
Sam, what do you think, since you're involved with it?
Do what?
I said, Sam, what do you think, since you're involved with it?
Well, Being that my priorities have shifted and I won't be on the board, after November, I emailed Kyle and to let him know that I would be, taking myself out of that committee. So, but I think that just, a brief update would be, would be prudent.
Okay. Everybody in concordance with that? Okay, then, budget ordinance 2314 .005 for donations to support the Justin E. Monroe Fire Camp. Consent. What do we? Okay.
So this is for there were $500 worth of donations that will get appropriated back into the fire budget for educational materials, basically to offset some of the costs that were spent on the fire camp. I think there are some plans on Tuesday to do some recognition around that program, so there will certainly be a time to do that. But yeah, this is this budget amendment could be on the consent agenda.
Okay, and number 11, resolution 23-21, authorizing chief of police to request and approve the transfer receipt of controlled items from the 1033 program.
I'd like to hear more about that.
Okay.
Would you like to hear about it this evening, or wait and just leave it on the regular agenda for Tuesday?
I don't know. Either way.
Okay. If y'all would prefer to wait, that's fine. But if you like, we can give a.
He's already up. That's right. Don't
I didn't see you back there. I was wondering who was going to tell us about it.
He tried to hide in the back corner. That grin.
This is a pretty easy one. I can kind of give you a little bit of information on. So the 1033 program is a federal program that allows federal surplus materials to be distributed out to local government, law enforcement agencies across the state. So we've actually been a member of that program for a number of years. Some of our firearms are ones that have been handed down from the military and reconditioned, and we use them. So with a new chief in place, they have requested us to re-up that authorization. So the last time, did we ever get a date on the last time it was signed? A long time ago. Previous board, previous mayor, previous chief. So they just need a new authorization for us to accept and receive those, whatever it could be, it's supplies. So it can be anything. We actually had a presentation from them. Are
we getting a tank?
If we want one. No, but it really is amazing what they offer. So with all this material coming back from overseas, I mean, they offer stuff from toilet paper and paper towel and cleaning supplies, all the way up to vehicles and UTVs and pickup trucks and just any number of things. So it's a pretty good benefit, and we're in a pretty good strategic place here where we have a couple military bases where they distribute the items out. So he actually came in and did a presentation for us. I guess it was about 2 weeks ago on all the materials that we could actually go in there and request. So another agency doesn't request it, and we request it, and they'll send it our way. And the only responsibility we have is to go pick it up. So we've got a wish list right now. Light tower, kind of similar to what the museum has that we have to borrow quite often, and generators, and there's a whole list of things that are on my want list that I would like to be able to get sent down to us. So.
Okay. Would you, with this authorization, would you run any of the items that you're requesting by the board, or is that just an automatic thing that you can?
Yeah, well, it's really made to be an automatic thing simply because since there's no cost associated with it,
right?
It is 100% first come, first served. So the way it works, I have a list, and they send out emails, and the first agency that responds and says, "Hey, we want that light tower," that's who gets it. So very, very quick turnaround on being assigned the item. So the only time you ever get it is if an agency would default and not go pick it up, would be the only second chance that you would have. Right. Currently, we're actually on the wait list right now because we're short pistols for our part-time staff. So there are 6 Glock pistols sitting in Maryland that they're going to ship to us as soon as I get this authorization signed up. So that saves us about $450 a gun. So pretty good savings to the town.
Chief, are there general categories of equipment that our board, as approving this resolution, could look, if for some reason you wanted to only cover certain categories of equipment that we would receive. For example, if you did not want us to have a tank, maybe it has its own category, and we could, as part of doing this, specify up front what we would and wouldn't be interested in.
There's probably, I'm guessing, 400 categories maybe. I'm really throwing a number out there, but it is pages after pages of list. The problem is too, you never know how they're going to categorize the stuff. So it's very subjective where you can go in there and look up. Like you can't go in there. It's not like eBay where you can go in there and search for generator because you don't know how. Since it's all surplus coming from multiple different organizations, it could be coming from the Coast Guard, Homeland Security, it could be coming from the Army. There's different ways they list items, so it's hard to say how it's going to be categorized. I don't know how I can answer that. I mean, the only thing, like obviously, the only thing really two categories they have are either controlled items or not controlled items. A generator would be a not controlled item. A controlled item would be the pistols we just asked for, because so the way it works is anything that is not controlled under the DOD, after 1 year it becomes the town's property permanently, and we don't have to audit it every year. Like pistols or like the rifles that we currently have, every year I have to take those rifles, lay them out on a table, take a visual picture of them, picture of the serial number, and then file a report and send it back to them. So it's a little bit of legwork on anything like weapons that are controlled. All non-controlled items, we just, after 1 year, it becomes our property. So
I trust your judgment, Chief File, but there are police departments across the country who are bringing in tanks, and I don't want to see that happen to Spencer.
Right. Understandable.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sounds like a good program.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam Pro Tem, on the issue of, if I may, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Of consent, I mean, it sounds like they need it right now. I mean, I think the yes vote seems like a pretty easy thing. I mean, on this, in light of what the chief was to share with us, I recommend it was on consent.
Okay.
Well, that's my thought. I mean, yeah.
I concur with that.
Okay. So you want to add this to the consent agenda?
If that's the will of the board, yeah.
Anyone have a problem with that?
Unless we could just go ahead and authorize it tonight.
That's what I was wondering too. Could we authorize it tonight?
I believe you could choose to take action if, I'm pretty sure you could. I think we've done that a time or two. We're in an open meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion to authorize our police chief to request and approve
I move that we move.
control items?
I move that we move the resolution 23-21 authorizing chief of police to request and approve transfer/receipt of control items from the 1033 program.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? They passed unanimously. Okay, thank you.
Send them an email.
Okay, next on the agenda is the staff presentation, South at Salisbury Avenue Corridor Study. So we know that will definitely be on the agenda, and that looks very interesting. A lot of work into that too. Then our departmental reports, the town manager report. Okay, and we do have some executive session meeting things to take care of that night too. Now, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Anyone think of anything else? Okay, I forgot to ask someone a while ago if they would volunteer to do the invocation. So do I have a volunteer? You volunteer? You want to do it? Huh? Okay, thank you, Rashid. So Rashid will do the invocation. Okay, and I think that's all that we had to do for the agenda. So the agenda is set. at this point. Unless we hear otherwise. Okay,
May I ask a question? I was not clear whether or not y'all, in terms of the number 9 CDBG
Number
item,
9.
whether or not you wanted that on the consent agenda or
well,
not.
we said a brief update, so,
So we'll leave it off then. We'll go over it on Tuesday. Thank you.
yeah.
Just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, because I think we talked about a presentation, then we talked about consent, but with it having a brief update, I guess
Sure.
maybe regular agenda.
Okay.
Is that what everybody is thinking? Okay. Okay. Is there a need for an executive session tonight? Okay, then we go to the next item. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Is that
So moved.
That would be it.
all in favor?
Did you get a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I was ready to get out of here.
I can tell.
The meeting is adjourned. That's a record.
Did y'all vote?
Let's vote real quick.
Mr. Howe, we're
What?
gonna run the meeting Tuesday, too.
I
It's gonna be long.
think I.
No disrespect to the mayor.
Do we, Madam Clerk, do we need to vote on the adjournment, or are we good?
No disrespect taken.
I thought we voted.
Patty, you can run it next week if you want.
Oh, what did he say? No disrespect.
Said you're fired, that's what he said.
Good.
No, we didn't.
Good.